Hello, it is time again for my monthly wrap up and TBR. So let's start with my May wrap up. It is not as long as I was hoping it would be because I was only able to read about 6 titles, but things happen in life that just change your plans for you, okay? It just happens. At the beginning of the month, I read Trust a New Beginning, which is the first book in the adult trilogy Trust by Cristiane Serruya, and there will be a book review coming up soon on that book, so look out for that one. And then 3 weeks passed and I was not able to read anything, not a single page, which, as you can imagine, totally killed me. But thankfully, Memorial Weekend is long, so I was able to squeeze in the Delirium Trilogy by Lauren Oliver. I read the whole entire thing, short stories and all, so I was very happy about it, but I will talk to you more about it in the book review that I will be doing on the whole entire series. So look out for that one as well. I'm behind on my reviews. I really need to catch up on my reviews because I haven't done any of those in a while and I really want to, and I've read a lot of books, especially in April. I read like a whole bunch of books, so I need to just sit down and do reviews for like a whole weekend. And then almost a whole week passed and I was not able to read all that much again, but yesterday at the last minute I was able to read the short prequel story to The Girl in the Steel Corset that is called The Strange Case of Finley, Jayne, who is the main character in the Steampunk Chronicles, or one of them anyway. And it came as a bonus in my Girl in the Steel Corset book, so I was able to read that at the last minute since it's only 100 pages or so. I was hoping to read the whole entire Steampunk Chronicles that is out so far. I've been told there will be more than 3 books, but I was not able to. So my May wrap up is this. Yep, that's it. That's what I read in May. Kinda sad, but it happens. Don't judge. So moving on to my June TBR pile, some of it might sound familiar because it was in my May TBR, but here's hoping that I will actually be able to read all these books in June, starting with the 3 books from the Steampunk Chronicles that are out so far: The Girl in the Steel Corset, The Girl with the Clockwork Collar, and The Girl with the Iron Touch, which just came out a couple days ago. And these 2 I've actually read, but I like reading series in order and getting a full spectrum of the story, so I'll be reading all of these together. Another thing I didn't read in May, but I'm hoping to read in June, is The Runaway Queen by Cassandra Clare and Maureen Johnson. It is the second book in the Beggining Chronicles, and I will be reading that together with the third one, which is Vampires, Scones, and Edmund Herondale. I'm actually super excited about that one because Edmund Herondale, for those of you who don't know, is Will Herondale's father, and for those of you who know who Will is, well, you know why I can't wait to read this book, right? Well, it's not exactly a book, it's more like a short story, but I'm excited for it anyway. Another book from an earlier unfinished TBR is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, which I have been trying to read for, it feels like, forever now, but I really want to read it and I need it for a challenge, so I will have to read it, and it will have to be before June 20th because that's when the challenge that I need it for is due, so yeah. The next book on my TBR for June is The Night of the Solstice by L.J. Smith, and I actually have a pretty big L.J. Smith collection. It's almost a whole shelf of there by L.J. Smith, and this particular book came out in 1987, which is the year I was born, and for some unexplainable reason I like things that originated when I originated, if that makes any sense. So I picked it up a while ago and I still haven't read it, and I think the time has finally come when I have to read it, and it was in a TBR earlier this year. I think last month or the month before, but I haven't read it yet, so hopefully June will be the month when that finally happens. Next up, we have 3 books by John Green. We have An Abundance of Katherines, Paper Towns, and The Fault in Our Stars. And in back in April, I read Looking for Alaska and I really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to read these 3. Next up, we have Poison by Bridget Zinn. It's a standalone fantasy novel about witches, I think. I'm not sure because I have not read it yet. It came out in March, so it's been waiting on my shelves for a couple months now to be read, and I think June is the month when that will finally happen. Next up, we have The Last Valentine by James Michael Pratt, and that's another one that's been waiting on my shelves to be read forever. And it was in a TBR earlier this year, and I have to read it too. I have a lot of books on my TBR that, seriously, the last couple months haven't been great for my reading. I don't know why things just pop up all the time, and I'm not able to read as much as I want to. But hopefully that will change soon, because I really can't live without reading, okay? I can't. But anyway, this one, it's a love story. It started in World War II when Caroline Thomas said goodbye to her beloved husband, and then for 50 years she has been waiting for him to return from the war, and finally, due to some miracle or something or other, she receives his last Valentine. So it is a love story through the ages. Should be a great read, so I'll let you know. And last but not least, I've decided to read Quidditch Through the Ages, which I have had again for a while. It's a tiny book, so it shouldn't really take me all that long to read. So this is what my June TBR looks like. Yeah, well, that's heavy, but hopefully I'll be able to read it and I wouldn't fail my TBR like I did in May, but we shall see what happens. Thanks for watching, see you guys later, bye!